Hello. I wanted to help you out a little bit with the notes page and give you some suggestions. You're going to need page 67 in your Zern workbook, page 67. I'll give you a second to get it. Make sure you have a pencil as well.
Let's solve a problem in our notes.
Pause the video if you
Today,
need to.
we're working on Mission 4, Lesson 17. 1/10 times 1 3/10. First, rewrite this expression using only fractions here. Write 1 3/10 as a single fraction greater than 1.
Okay, so let's think about this a little bit. First of all, we know that 1/10 is already, oops, wrong spot. We know that 1/10 is already a fraction, so we don't have to do anything to that one. We can just write 1/10. But 1.3 or 1 3/10 is a mixed number. So let's look over here. 1 3/10 is a mixed number. So to turn it into an improper fraction, what do? You should remember this. Remember, we multiply the whole number times the denominator and then add the numerator. Add the numerator. So it becomes 1 times 10 is 10 plus 3 is 13 tenths. So 13 tenths. Okay?
One 3/10 is equal to 13/10. So I'll rewrite the expression like this. 1/10 times 13/10. Check your work.
Yep.
We know tenths times tenths equals hundredths, so each whole is partitioned into hundredths. When we're multiplying fractions using an area model, we represent the fraction greater than 1 first. You'll need more than one whole because 13/10 is greater than 1. Show 13/10 on the area model. Draw diagonal lines now so you can double shade later. Label 13/10 below the area model here.
So remember, 13/10 is really a mixed number, and this will help you out with this. So it's 1 3/10. So that's the same as one whole. We're going to double shade this later. And 3/10. So this one, and this one. And then the whole thing is 13/10. Okay?
I'll show 13/10 like this. 10/10 is the same as one whole, 11/10, 12/10, 13/10. I'll draw a bracket and label 13/10 here. Check your work.
Looks like that's what we got. Okay? And if you need to fix it, fix it. That's what erasers are for.
Now let's show 1/10 of 13/10. Here are the tenths. Partition and double shade the area model to show 1/10 of 13/10. Label 1/10 on this side of the area model.
So to label 1/10, remember each row is a tenth. Okay? So to label 1/10, we only have to mark this row. It's really hard to do on this video. This row all the way across. So that's 1/10 of 13. One piece of 13/10. Okay? Let's check our work.
I'll partition and shade 1/10 like this. and label this part 1/10.
See how good we are? Look at that.
We double shaded 1/10 of the entire 13/10. Check your work.
I think that's what we did.
Now solve here. What is 1/10 times 13/10? Use the area model to help. How many hundredths did we double shade?
So we're looking at 100ths as a piece of this. So there's 100 pieces on this side and 100 pieces on this side. Okay, so another way to think about that is 10 times 10 is 100. And 1 times 13 is 13. Let's check our work.
We can see in the area model that 13 hundredths are double shaded. We can also multiply the numerators and the denominators to solve. 1 times 13 equals 13, and 10 times 10 equals 100. So 1/10 times 13/10 equals 13 hundredths. Check your work. Now write 13 hundredths as a decimal here.
All right, so we're going to convert 13 hundredths into a decimal, and there's a trick to this. So let me show you what to do. And this works for anything that's being divided by 100, divided by 10, divided by 1,000. So let's say we're dividing 13, and here's the important part. I'm going to put a decimal point in it. We're putting a 13 in the garage, and this time the larger number is going outside of the garage because we're working with decimals. So 13 divided by 100. And watch what happens to that decimal. 1, 2. So for every 0, you move the decimal point 2 spaces. For every 0, you move the decimal point 1 space to the left. So there are 2 zeros, we move the decimal point 2 spaces to the left. So our new answer is going to be 0.13. You don't have to have that last 0. Let's do a little practice. This time we're going to take 56, and I want you to do this too on the same page. And remember, you are getting graded for this when we get back. And we're going to divide 56 by 1,000. So what do you think we need to do? So let's rewrite 56 with that decimal point. We're not going to put it in the garage this time because all we're doing is bouncing that decimal point. And we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. So we're moving the decimal point 1, 2, 3 spaces. So our decimal point is now over here. And to fill in this empty space, we just put a 0. And then I like to have another 0. So our final answer is 0.056. It's that simple.
We can write 13 hundredths as a decimal like this. 1/10 times 1 3/10 equals 13 hundredths. Check your work.
I believe that's what we got.
Here's another one. 7/10 times 2/10. Let's solve using fraction multiplication. First, write this expression using fractions.
I am going to let you do this on your own. Okay, and if you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email. All right, thanks. Bye.